Hey, what's up everybody? Ralph here. So today's topic, I want to talk about 10 common money mistakes that a lot of people make when it comes to managing their finances. So if you're someone that struggles with managing their money, one of these top 10 reasons might be the reason why. So the first reason is lack of planning. All right. I think a lot of people struggle with this because it's not as fun. For a lot of people, it's more exciting to plan for a vacation than it is to actually plan for your finances. But planning how to manage your money is really important because lack of planning can really disrupt the flow of money when it comes to like making purchases for things that are important in your life. I think for a lot of people is like, all right, I have a job, so whatever money's going in, they say, all right, I got the money, I can use that money to do whatever they want to do. All right. But the thing is, like, you want to make sure that you plan for the certain things that you want. Like, say you want to purchase a property. Obviously, you want to make sure you set money aside so you can have enough money for a down payment. Because obviously, we all need loans. You know, most people need mortgages in order to purchase a property since that's a really large investment. So you want to make sure that if you're going with FHA, which requires like 3.5%, you want to make sure you have that 3.5%. Or if you're someone that is going through conventional, you want to put down to 20%. You want to make sure you set aside money for that purchase because you're going to need that down payment. So I think a lot of people struggle with that, even especially when you're going on vacation, right? You want to make sure you set aside money every pay period. Every time you get paid, you want to set money aside so you have money to go on that vacation, not just use everything that's in that account. For me, like say if I'm going on vacation, what I do is I allocate my resources a different way. Whatever I get in, I create a separate account, which is my vacation fund. So whatever I'll take, like say about 10-15%, and every time I get paid, I'll take that 15% and put in a vacation fund. So whatever's in that vacation account, I use. All right, so that's me planning for future vacations down the road. So I think a lot of people struggle with that, and I think that's something that a lot of people like need to focus more on is planning and how they manage their money in the future, because I think that can help a lot of people when it comes to making sure they have enough money to do the things that they want in life. So that's number one. Number two is overspending, right? Obviously, I think most people, if you're someone that struggles with money, I think most people have this issue. People have a tendency to spend more than they make, all right? So if you're making like $5,000 a month from your job and you're spending $5,000 a month, obviously at the end of the month, you're not going to have any money, all right? So I like to equate it to like this. If you're someone that's trying to lose weight, in order to lose weight, you want to make sure you get into a calorie deficit, meaning you burn more calories than you consume, right? If you're someone that's consuming 2,000 calories a day, then you want to make sure you're burning more than that in order to lose weight. All right, so you'll make sure you get a caloric deficit. Same thing when it comes to managing your money. All right, if you want to make sure you have money at the end of the month, which is whatever the money that you earn minus whatever you spend, whatever that's left over is savings. Okay, a lot of people don't have savings because they tend to spend more than they make. So you want to make sure if you're making like $5,000 a month, you want to make sure you're spending well below that, and then you can take whatever's left and save that. For obviously things that are very important in life. So you want to make sure you focus on that, because people have a tendency to spend more than make. I'm one of those people. I've been in. If you've seen a few of my other videos, I've had over $30,000 of debt twice in my life. All right, so that was because of poor money management, obviously. I had a tendency to spend more than I make and not really think about what I had left over at the end of the month. I just always said, damn, I don't got any money. All right, so you want to make sure you really focus on what you're spending, and that's why it's important to like create a budget so you actually know what you're spending on a daily, on a weekly, on a monthly basis, so you can really manage and really like manage the money properly, so you know what's going on, so you know where your money's going on, where your money's going at the end of the month. All right, so number three, buying with consumer credit. And when I say that, what I mean by that is obviously using the credit card. Right? For a lot of people, it's easy to use the credit card because it's not real money. Right? It's like, all right, boom, I'm using someone else's money. It's not money that's coming out of my account when you make the purchase, when you actually use your credit card. So it's easy to just use that. And credit cards, when people use credit cards, you have a tendency to spend more than you actually have, and which is the purpose. That's what a lot of credit card issuers are banking on. They're hoping that you spend more than you actually can consume, so you can pay interest on that every month. So you want to make sure you're focusing on you gotta almost treat your credit card like a debit card, right? Whatever money you have in the bank account, that's what you're not spending more than that. Hopefully you're spending less than that, but you want to make sure whatever purchase that you're making, you want to make sure you have that money in your actual bank account, all right? The actual cash. So people need to be more focused when it comes to be more have a better understanding of how to use credit cards, because there's a lot of good that can come from credit cards if you know how to use it right. Obviously with reward points, cash back. But if you're someone that doesn't know how to use a consumer credit card, then you got to stay away from it, right? Until you manage that properly. All right, so I think for a lot of people, that's obviously, you can see that consumer debt in this country, it's a big issue for a lot of people. All right, so you want to make sure you manage consumer credit. Number 4 is delaying savings for retirement. I think a lot of people, when we tend to, like, I think for most people, I think we tend to bank on Social Security being there for us when we retire at the age of 65. But Social Security is not meant to take care of you to the end of your life. It's there to supplement your current income. It's there to supplement your retirement lifestyle. Obviously, you need to make sure you're investing in stuff like 401ks, retirement accounts, and then Social Security is there to just supplement that for you. You shouldn't be living off of Social Security, because clearly that's not enough. I know a lot of people that live off Social Security, and obviously it's not enough to like pay for rent, pay a mortgage, or get the things that they need, like food and stuff like that. They also have to either get a second job or rely on somebody else to take care of them. Right, so I think you want to make sure you plan. If you're someone that has a 9-to-5 job, obviously you want to make sure you're contributing to your 401k and matching that. So your employer is also, making sure that your employer is matching that at the same time. So that's just free money that you want to make sure that you have planning for retirement. So you want to make sure you try to get involved in all retirement options that are tax free to a point, to an extent. You want to make sure you're contributing to these things, so you can have the money to retire once you're done working. Because no one wants to work into their late 60s and early 70s. Nobody wants to do that. That's the time where you relax and just chill. All right, so you want to make sure that you're focused on planning for retirement. I think a lot of people don't do that because they don't know how, or they don't know where to start, or they're not thinking that far ahead. All right. So number 5. Falling prey to financial sales pitches, right? We live in a society where there's just so many things thrown at us, and people want to try to learn about money. So it's easy for salespeople, to just be like, all right, you can invest in this and make X returns. They're banking on your lack of knowledge to make a purchase. So sometimes it may not be the best financial purpose for you, because if you don't understand it, they're like, oh, invest in this stock, when you have no idea what that stock is about. You never researched that company. Right? So there's people that say, oh, we'll manage your money for X amount of dollars, and you're not researching the fees, how much it costs for that person to manage your money. So it's easy for these people to take advantage of those that lack the knowledge when it comes to managing money. So you got to be careful, right? So you want to make sure you're doing your research on that. All right, which leads me to my next topic, which is not doing your homework. All right, it's important to do your homework when it comes to managing your money. All right, I think for a lot of people, they tend to just see certain things and they say, all right, I'm just gonna buy this, and not really do your research, or you see something that you want to make a purchase online, and you're not doing your research to see if there's a better price for that same product. So I think you want to make sure you get away from that oh, let me just buy that, and not really do the research, and look at reviews. Obviously, if you go on certain reviews like Amazon tend to have a lot of like fake reviews. You got to be careful with that. I think for me, when I do Amazon reviews, I like to go to the most recent ones instead of just seeing the most popular ones. I like to go to more recent ones to see, just to get a better gauge on people's reviews on a certain product. So you want to make sure you do your research, because it's easy when you're a person that lacks the knowledge and the understanding of a certain thing. It's easy to just make a purchase and not get and pay more than you should. All right, so you want to make sure you do your homework and really like understand what you're purchasing. All right. Where are we at? Number 7, making decisions based on emotions. Right. So I think this is, for me, especially when it comes to business, a lot of people tell you the worst time to make a decision, even in relationships, the worst time to make a decision is when you're emotional. Alright, like when it comes to business, you never make a decision when you're emotional. If you're going through a breakup with your boyfriend or girlfriend, you want to make sure that before you make a decision on if you need to break up or not, you want to make sure you get out of that emotional state, right? Because being emotional, it clouds your judgment. So you want to make sure you're in a space where you're clear in mind and you're not too emotional. And a lot of people say, people talk about the worst time to make decisions when, say, you're going through a divorce, or you lost a family member, or you're going through a breakup. You never want to make make decisions, especially financial decisions, when you're in this emotional state. All right, so you want to make sure you're level-headed, calm, and you're not at a point where things are heated and you're clouded in your judgment. So you want to make sure that you remove yourself from that emotional state when it comes to making decisions. If you're in that emotional state, just make sure you take a day or two and to really make sure you clear your head. And then, especially when it comes to your finance, you never want to sign a document, obviously, if you're in an emotional state. So you make sure you're clear-headed and you're really focusing when it comes to managing your money. All right. And number 8, all right, listening to wannabe experts. All right, like, for someone that was, trying to figure out how to make money online, there's so many things online. They're like, oh, you can make X amount of dollars in, X amount of months. And you got to be careful with those type of things, because obviously there's so many get-rich-quick schemes that you want to make sure you stay away from that. There's no such thing as quick money, all right? Quick money. Everything that, when it comes to making money, it's a slow process, right? It's a marathon, not a sprint. You'll hear that a lot. So you want to make sure you take your time. Really try to understand what you're purchasing, and really try to review and try to talk to other people and see how they like the product or service. You want to make sure that you don't fall susceptible to get rich quick schemes, because there's so many out there, and people are at like I said, an emotional state. You want to make sure that you're not too emotional, because that's easy to make a decision like, oh, I'm struggling with money so bad that I gotta go make that purchase, because I gotta make money. And if they're saying that you can make X amount of money in a certain amount of months, then it has to work. Those type of get rich quick schemes are usually they don't work. There's no such thing as quick money. It takes time. All right. So you want to make sure you stay away from that. All right. You want to make sure that you're educating yourself. You're learning about how to make money in whatever area, whether it's online, whether it's through a store, whether through a business. You want to make sure you really understand the process of making money, because it takes time to really understand how money works. So you want to make sure that you don't listen to these wannabe experts that, oh, we're going to make you, especially with, Forex or trading, like you can make X amount of dollars. Maybe you're making that, and I'm sure that you didn't make it quick. It took time. And they'll sell you all types of courses. And that's ironic, because you're listening to a person like me, but I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just trying to provide information, especially through experience, So you want to make sure you listen. You be careful with experts that are trying to say you can make so much money in a short time period. All right, you want to be careful of those people. All right, and number 9. All right, you want to be careful of another common money mistake is exposing yourself to catastrophic risks. So things like insurance. All right, so I think for a lot of people, especially if you have a family, you want to make sure that you're protecting those, right? I think a lot of people don't understand, you want to make sure, especially on a home. A home is another a huge asset that you want to protect in case there's a fire or anything. You want to make sure you have insurance on it. Especially if you have a spouse and you have a family, you want to make sure you have life insurance, because that's important. You want to, because if your family is relying on your income, you want to make sure you protect that, because there's unfortunate things happen, and you want to make sure those things that you care most about are protected, whether it's a family, whether it's a home. You want to make sure you prepare for certain situations, so people that you love aren't left holding the bag. So I think you want to make sure that you prepare yourself for things like that, and insurance is a big part of that. Whether it's life insurance, whether it's home insurance, these are really big items where you need to make sure that if something does happen, that you're financially protected. All right, and I think if you're not, and I plan on doing more videos, especially when it comes to life insurance. That's gonna be another video, but right now obviously we're just going over the 10 common money mistakes. But getting life insurance is a big thing. All right, so number 10, focusing too much on money. All right? Obviously, this is, a money mistake that we're talking about. So obviously the focus is money. But I think for a lot of people, one thing that's more important than money, and also can be expensive as well, is not focusing on health, right? A lot of people think that, all right, they may not have the money to like eat well or take care of themselves, but what's more expensive? Having poor health is expensive. If you're someone that's constantly going to the doctor because you're probably not eating well, you're not exercising, that can be very expensive. So it's cheaper, it's less expensive to take care of yourself, so you're having less trips to the doctor, you're not getting sick, buying medicine. So you want to, instead of focusing, obviously money is something that you should really focus on, but your health should be even more important, because if you don't have health, you don't have anything. So that's something why I go to the gym 5 days a week, because I understand that if I don't have health, it's going to be hard for me to really focus on building wealth and making money for future generations. And so I always make sure I'm eating right foods. I'm making sure I'm drinking my water, making sure I'm listening to my body if I'm tired. So I think a lot of people need to focus on that and really take care of themselves, because that's, if anything, this pandemic has showed us that health is very important, even mental health. So I think more than money, like focusing on health and making sure everything is good, gives you the strength and then the ability to focus then on money. All right. So those are my 10 most common money mistakes. If you have any of those, if any of those things like really triggered you and really like hit home, I plan on doing other videos on how to go about handling and managing these situations. But for now, it's just the top 10 common money mistakes. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, share, and subscribe. All right, so take care. Have a good one. Later.